Hey everyone, Lucas here. Setting up a little bit before we go ahead and get into this pre-game stream. Let's see. All right, that looks better. Hey, sports nerd. Hey, Tricky Nicky. So I'm gonna send you guys a link right now. Something I'll be going over with the stream tonight. So um, go ahead and check that out. It's something I use when I get my notes for the game and stuff like that. So, all right, so let's go over this. So, playing the St. Louis Blues on the road after having a pretty lackluster homestand, in my opinion. Facing off against a Blues team that is really struggling this season as they're 10-14-4 on the season at home, 6-8-2 as we are on the road 5-6-2. So we're not faring any better on the road than St. Louis is at home. So Florida has called up Anthony Greco. He's not playing tonight. He will be sitting out this one, but he possibly could be in for the game against Minnesota. And we always have a tough time against them, the Minnesota Wild in Minnesota. So, all right. So it's not letting me send a link. I tried to send it. I guess it doesn't let me send links through the chat. So, if you guys have any questions, comments, whatever, go ahead and say them in the comments section. I will definitely answer any questions that you guys have. So let's go ahead and look up this matchup right now. Last game we played against the Rangers, obviously a devastating 5-4 loss in the shootout. And last game that Vancouver played, they got absolutely stomped. St. Louis got stomped by Vancouver 6-1. So they're definitely coming off a bad loss against the Vancouver Canucks. In their last 5, they're 2-2-1. We are 2-1-2. In our last 10, we are 3-4-3. They are 3-6-1. Hello. Let's see. So when we score first, we are 5-3-5 this season. St. Louis a lot better record than we have, as they are 8-3-2. But when the opponent scores, though, St. Louis is abysmal 2-11-1. So that's key. We have to get that first goal to be able to have the advantage over St. Louis and then hold that lead. Especially when they are trailing after one. They are 0-6-1. So definitely have to take advantage. And then after trailing after 2, they are 0-12-2. So St. Louis, once they fall behind, cannot hold a lead at all. They have a horrible record in overtime. They are 0-1 in the shootout so far this season. This month, December, so far, we are 1-1-2. And as you guys know, I'm growing the beard. I did it a couple of years ago where, I saw I had the beard. So I'm like, all right, this is going to be a good luck charm. And lo and behold, we ended up going to the playoffs against the New York Islanders. Doing the same thing this season, but a little bit of a twist with it. If we have an under 500 record for the month, this gets trimmed. I trimmed it in October. Didn't have to trim in November, but at the pace we're going right now, it's going to get trimmed as we are 1 1-2 so far this month. Hello, Evan. And St. Louis not too better as they're 1-2-1, as we have one more point than them. Now, scoring. First period is our period. It's also St. Louis period. It's where both teams, outscore their opponents and both won. So again, it's key that we get that lead against St. Louis, because once they fall behind, they just cannot come back. They cannot come back at all. Second period, yet again, our best for goals for, and then our worst for goals against, as we've had 42 goals scored in that second period. St. Louis has 28. They've given up 32. So that is their second worst period. Their worst is the third by a long shot. So again, if we can just have that lead in either the first or second, St. Louis implodes on themselves in the third period, as they've given up 33 goals and scored only 20. Also, you could say the same with us. I think it might be an error, though. They're saying we've only scored 20 in the third, and they've given up 33. I don't know if that's accurate. I think they made a mistake on that one. Hello, Jack. How's it going? We do play better when we're behind. But what I'm seeing with St. Louis is once they have a lead, they're able to hold it better than they are to fall behind. So power play, again, absolutely stellar power play for the Cats so far this season. And that's what I talked about a lot in my preseason prediction, is that we had to have a strong power play to be able to succeed. Unfortunately, the defense and the goaltending has let us down this season, as overall we are fourth in the NHL after that horrible start on the power play. We've gone up to fourth in the NHL with a 27.7 save power play. Yeah, I'll tell you guys the site. It's let's see, where is it? So what you want to do is type in, what I'm going to do, I'm going to link it down in the, let's see. I'm going to do it down in the comments of the video. And, okay, so it's now in the comments section of the video. So you'll be able to link it up there and check out those stats. So as of right now, the Florida Panthers are, we'll go ahead and pull that up. Also, I'm going to link down another site that I use to see how we did last year. But it looks like it's down. It's down. All right, well, we won't be able to do that. Anyways, the standings. So currently in the Atlantic Division, we are currently behind the Buffalo Sabres, who are kind of struggling somewhat after that torrid start, but we are behind them by 10 points, and then behind the Montreal Canadiens by 7. Montreal is playing Minnesota tonight, so hopefully they lose tonight, and we can win tonight, and then get now be only 5 points out. Why is Petro out? I don't know what Buchner's doing. I don't, I thought Petrovic had a really good game the last game he played. I know they go Petrano, but I like Petrovic pronouncing of that name. So again, I don't know what Buchner's doing. I hope I hope the Sabres choke. We do need to walk out. I think, again, looking at our schedule coming up for the Cats, I don't think it's as hard as it was at the beginning of the month. So let's go ahead and check that out for December. Again, we had Tampa Bay, Boston, Colorado, the Rangers, and so again, we play St. Louis, Minnesota. Both teams out of a spot right now. To play Toronto though, Buffalo, Toronto. So those three games could be difficult. I think Buffalo though, we have a chance to beat them. We've shown we can beat them. Then we play Detroit, Chicago for the holiday break, and then a huge game against the Montreal Canadiens, Flyers, and then ended off against Detroit. So I think we could easily get to a 500 record this um, month if we could take advantage. Like the first four games of this month were probably the hardest of the year of this month so far. Again, Toronto is definitely going to be difficult. We play them at home and then on the road, but I think if we could just play our game, again. If we can just hold lead, we played well against Boston. We can play like we did against Boston, against Toronto. I think we have an excellent chance to beat Toronto. Anyways, on the road, Florida is at a 32% conversion rate on the power play, which is good for 30th in the NHL, third in the NHL. 30th, though, we have given up 7 shorthanded goals on the power play. Again, that contributes to the defense, who is absolutely struggling right now. Yandel, Ekblad, they're not playing, well. Like again, they want to send. I don't know why they're saying Petrovic, but Yandel and Ekblad, they've made multiple mistakes on the penalty, power play, penalty kill, and lapses. Like, why aren't they being set? Even for like a couple of shifts, sit them down. I know they're the best players, but they are, you know, they're making boneheaded mistakes. Yeah, definitely the defense is horrible. So St. Louis on the penalty kill, they are actually really good on the penalty kill. At home, they are ninth with an 84% penalty kill, fourth overall. Their power play is not too bad either. So St. Louis definitely has a great special teams, but everything else is just horrendous for St. Louis. Um, so right now, Florida Panthers, Huberdeau leads the team as he's had a torrid streak getting points. 34 points. Next closest is Yandel and Dadnoff at 28. He's 6 points ahead of those two. Mike Hoffman leads with 14 goals. Dadnoff 13. Then Barkov 11. Huberdeau with 26 assists. 3 more than Yandel. Um, Nobody's gone a hat trick yet for the Florida Panthers. Most penalty minutes, Vincent Trocheck, and yet he's out for a while. Um, let's see. So the Blues versus Panthers was the first matchup between the Blues and the Panthers this season. The coming February 5th in Florida. Blues lost both games last season against Panthers, losing the most recent matchup 7-4 in St. Louis. So the last game we played against St. Louis, that was a huge win for us. But St. Louis is 8-4 in their last 12 games. But as of recently, I know we've had a lot of success against them. As perfect examples, the Blues have lost their last 3 games against the Panthers in St. Louis, but they won the previous 3 matchups against Florida at home. That makes no sense. All right. Over the last 11 matchups, the Blues have killed off 30 of the Panthers' 31 power play attempts. Wow, that's an awesome penalty kill at 96.8. So that's going to be a huge key for the Cats in this game is that power play has to click for us. And they've had a really good power play against us. They've gone 4 for 14 in their last 5 matchups against us. But again, I remember back in the day, St. Louis really was phenomenal against us. Let's see. So this is all like St. Louis. So I'm gonna go down to the Panthers one. I think it's an interesting call up. He's done pretty good down in the AHL, so I think the management team saw, he deserved to be called up. I know a lot of people want Borgstrom up, but again, either he said it or the coaching staff has said it, but what's been said is that he does not feel ready. He feels like he's being pushed around by the NHL players, and he doesn't feel comfortable playing yet against NHL players at the moment. So, all right, so Florida against St. Louis all time versus St. Louis 11, 19, 3 and 2. We really do struggle against St. Louis. On the road, we are 6, 11 and 1 against St. Louis. We have won each of our last two games against St. Louis and each of the last three road games. So again, we take away those three road wins. We are 3, 11 and 1. We hadn't beaten St. Louis before we beat them that first time, or the last time that started this three-game winning streak. I think it was like 15 years between beating St. Louis in St. Louis, as we just had the toughest time there in Minnesota. I'm going to tell you, this is going to be a really tough road trip. Despite both teams struggling, we struggle in both arenas. Minnesota, or even worse in. I remember one game we had I think it was like a 2-1 lead, and we blew it with like, I think we may have even been up 2-0. I forget what was the score, but we blew it. They tied it with like 30 seconds left or something like that, and then they ended up winning it in overtime. It was an absolutely devastating loss. What else, guys, want to talk about? I'm just going through the list again. Huberdeau leads the NHL with 17 points, 4 goals, 13 assists in the last 8 games. He just missed tying Pavel Bureau's record of 7 straight multi-point games, as he ended up with 6. And a lot of Barry records being challenged or broken this year. It was just really cool to see. So Huberdeau, this game against the Rangers, ended up getting his 300th point, which surpassed Scott Melvin's sole position of 4th on the franchise assist list. He's the only one of 4 players in history to register 300 points in a Panthers uniform, ranking 4th in franchise points. Huberdeau has also notched 3 points in the game twice over his last 3 games. So he's just absolutely on a tear. Do I think Nathan Horton wanted to be a Panther? I just don't think the situation that just happened here in Florida when he was on the team wasn't right. It was a bad time to be a player on this team. We weren't making the playoffs. We just had no players. The owners were not willing to spend money. I think if the situation was better, Nathan Horton would have loved to stay a Panther and probably would have retired with us if the situation was better and with this team at that time. That's why it's just so frustrating what we're going through this season. There's just the hype, the promise. On paper, this team looked like it was going to go far. Like, we had that awesome run at the end of the year. Hopes was high for the team, the fans. We picked up Hoffman, which was a great signing, as we've seen, and we just started off poor. We just started absolutely poor, and it's mind blowing. Like, it's frustrating. I know a lot of you guys are frustrated too, and this was not expected at all. I think the players are also frustrated because, they knew they were better than this. Hello, Alexander. Yeah, I remember Longo. I think during that time too, Longo faced, I think it was one game he had like 60 shots he faced. I know there was a game against Detroit he faced like 55. We had no defense then. Um, those were some pretty bleak times. Back then too, they even covered the upper row seats with black tarp. That's how bad they could not get fans into the arena. Yeah, sportsman, I do agree. We need a 5 game winning streak. If this is an absolutely crucial stretch until Christmas break, we have to really have everything clicking. Like we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games, and I think we could go. We have a chance to go 6-1. I think we lose one of the games against Toronto, but I honestly think these other teams are beatable. Including Buffalo. We have shown we can beat Buffalo. We've shown we can hang. Again, I just a mental lapse in the last dying seconds of that game against Chicago, but we show we can beat Chicago. We can beat Chicago. Chicago's absolutely struggling right now. Um, Detroit, we've had monster success against them, and but the games that worry me, like I said, this road trip right now, we do struggle in these two arenas, but we've been playing really well recently in St. Louis. We've got to get a miracle in Minnesota, win at home against Toronto, beat Buffalo and Buffalo, probably lose the game against Toronto and Toronto, and then beat Detroit and then Chicago to end off before we go into the Christmas break. Yeah, they covered it during 14 seasons, but also even before that too, they covered it. I'm not really paying attention to the World Juniors, so I really cannot give much of a prediction on that. Yeah, 2000, 2001 was bad. That was a horrible streak to start the season. But I think the worst stretch of losses this franchise has ever suffered, I believe it was 89, 90, 80, 98, 99. We just had, I think we went like 15 games without a win. That was bad. I wouldn't be surprised if Bukestad ends up being traded. I know there's been rumors of him being traded. Um, and it just might have to be. We might have to let him go to shore up the defense. We've got Borkstrom down in the AHL. We got these young guys that can really prove themselves. So, and maybe we just may sever ties and get that defense that we need. I think we need a goaltender too. Like St. Louis waived their goaltender, should have picked him up. We cannot rely on Longo. And as of right now, I haven't heard anything as of yet. Guys, let me know if it has been updated. But as of right now, they haven't announced who the starting goaltender is for us. My guess is going to be Bugner's going to put Longo, and I don't think we should be playing Longo that much. Or again, maybe every 2 games, play him. I think Reimer should get the start tonight against St. Louis. St. Louis is a struggling team, so we'll see. I think the Golden Knights, their season was, everyone had career years for Golden Knights last year. They all had career years, and they are definitely digressing this season. They're barely hanging on to that last wild card spot. They have played more games than other teams right now, so and so again, if everyone catches up to games, they would be out of the playoff spot. So they are definitely worse than they were last year. What do you the worst year for attendance? Definitely the mid 2000s, early 2010s were the worst for our attendance. But when Yorkmeyer was here, those were the worst years for the attendance. Like I said, they had to put the tarp on. They were giving away tickets for free. So, great. Well, it looks like it's Luongo. Bugner yet again proves he's an incompetent coach. Again, Reimer should be in that. Um, Man, I feel he's gonna get injured. He's probably gonna get injured. Don't at me if it's if he does. But again, I really don't think Luongo should be playing more than 2 games at a time. Play two, then put Reimer in, then have Luongo play. Uh, Longo two, Reimer one. Longo two, Reimer one. Longo two, like. But hey, what do I know? What do I know? Lightning are just on fire right now too. They're unstoppable. They're dangerous. I don't want to play them in the first round. If we get that again, if things continue the way they are, and we'll probably have a chance of the second, maybe first wild card if we can get a winning streak going. And I do not want to play Tampa Bay in the first round. I really would not. They would absolutely crush us. I want to win a playoff series, and we need a miracle against Tampa Bay. I know there's been rumors now that intensifying, especially with the attendance the last few games at home, that they could move. But again, they just have too good of a deal with the arena right now, at the BB&T Center. I just don't see them moving. Again, it was a horrible location to begin with for them to move to. They should have put them more near the center of Fort Lauderdale, but they didn't. They put them out in the grasslands of Sunrise. But I think if they put other things in that area, make it more of a attraction destination. I think there was rumors of maybe a casino going there, maybe build a hotel there, maybe build some restaurants in that area. I know there's the Sawgrass Mills Mall right across the street, but I think you need something actually on the same side as the arena to attract people. Again, it won't help as much as having it in the central part of Fort Lauderdale, but it could definitely cause more people to go into the game. Yeah, we need D. We definitely need D, and we need the goaltending. We need to pick up somebody. Maybe Hutchinson obviously is improving himself. Maybe we give him another chance, and we'll see what happens. But he's not proving himself at all. Well, we did the three with Reimer. Putting Reimer in, and then Longo got hurt. So I really think it should be maybe two and then one. Longo is not 30 anymore. He's 39, same age as me. So he's not that young kid anymore. Um, yeah, I wish the ownership group would let the hockey guys do what they have to do to make this team better. Um, I wish that they, you know, after making the playoffs, they just blew the thing up, put Tom Rowe in charge for some odd reason. We all know how that circulated. So, yeah, again, if I think if we get wins, yeah, it'll get teams into the arena, fans into the arena. You saw what we did during the year we won the division. Team fans went in. Fans came. But we just need to win too. I think if we win, they'll get fans into the seats. I think we should have locked up Marshall. So yeah, I think maybe expose Bukestad. I think that would have been the better move. But again, what do we know? Yeah, I don't know where the Panthers will move. I probably wouldn't be a fan either, but who knows where they move? I know maybe rumors are Houston. They're not going to put another team in Canada. That's been already um, canceled out. So bunch of bandwagons. uh, all right. Got a few more minutes, guys, before the game starts. Anything you want me to answer? Anything you want to talk about? Anything else? Yeah, two bad teams going at it tonight, so it's definitely going to be. I think it's going to come down to the special teams. I think the special teams are going to determine who wins this one tonight. As like I said, St. Louis is pretty good on their special teams. We're phenomenal on the power play, but the penalty kill definitely can use some work. So the Predators, I like the Predators. I like how they're able to roll four lines, and they got Subban on defense. He's phenomenal. So I think they're going to continue doing well. Be really cool if we can just have a miracle and make the playoffs and go far. We could play them in the Stanley Cup Finals. That'd be a really cool matchup. Nice, that'd be cool, Tricky Nicky. I might go to Pittsburgh next month to see them play in Pittsburgh. I'm still debating on it, but airfare is only $100 round trip. There's a hotel right at the arena. I'm really, really complimenting going, so that'd be really cool to see them play in a different arena besides Boston or in Florida. Experience them because I watched a documentary on the Penguins that is available on YouTube. Um, that was really got me really wanting to see the Penguins play the Panthers in Pittsburgh. The most angry I've ever got with this team was last year. Honestly, I was extremely fed up after that slow start. As you know, I didn't make any videos, and I was just frustrated, absolutely frustrated. Didn't I didn't wear any Panthers stuff last year. I was so disgusted with this team. Um, Montreal, I because I live in Boston and Bruins fans hate Montreal. I like Montreal. They are playing pretty good right now. I'd love for them to go on a losing streak though because they are ahead of us. So um, yeah, I like doing these streams. I'd like to definitely do more of them. Again, if I get the time, we'll have to do some more of these streams. Maybe before the game, we'll do some streams. So it's been really fun doing this with you guys. Uh, so what happened to Flying Fluffy? He's also disgusted with the team. I think he wants to move on to other things with his channel. So that's why he is not doing any Panther stuff at the moment. All right, Alexander. Thanks for joining the chat. Enjoy the game. Any during the game? I do want to do one during the game. I want to do a live chat on the against the Red Wings. That's a 2 o'clock game Saturday, not this Saturday, but next Saturday. I do want to do a live stream during the game. Obviously, I can't have the audio playing, so I'll do this type of setup where I watch the game on my monitor and use my phone as the camera. We'll go ahead and I'll watch it together. That'd be really cool. It's something I've wanted to do. So yes, that is 100% in the works. It looks like it's going to be 100% going to happen. So if you guys really want to do that, let me know down below. That'd be awesome. I can imagine a game in Montreal being brutal. I love to go see them play in Montreal too. I really want to see the Panthers play in every single arena. Um, I'd love to do that. That'd be like one of my bucket list things to do is do a trip and see them play in every arena. So Team name for Seattle. I'm sure it's going to have to do something with Seattle's history. Um, what that is, though, I wouldn't have a slightest idea what I think the name would end up being. So, how far would you go to be there? I'd go to see them in the Game 7 of the Cup down in Florida. I don't care how much it is. I'd sell a kidney to see them play in the Stanley Cup Finals in Florida. I was going to go to the playoffs when they went to the playoffs in 2006. I wanted to see them play down in Florida, but never did. I almost did see them play up here in New Jersey in 2012 when we played the Devils. I had a ticket and everything, and then I just backed out because I didn't want to go by myself. I would end up going by myself. All right, guys, thanks for joining. So yeah, let's go ahead and close this out. I'm gonna go ahead and start watching the game. But I will have the recap video up tonight after the game. Hopefully, it is a good one, and hopefully we can have the Rats squeak their victory squeak. So again, thanks for joining me, guys. If you like the stream, go ahead and give it a big thumbs up. Again, if you're joining me here on this channel and you haven't subscribed yet to the channel, go hit that subscribe button. I'll have all your recaps of every Florida Panthers game this season. Kept my promise so far. I want to keep it up. So, and yeah, I'll see you guys after the game. Thanks for watching.